What is up, y'all? Welcome to my fantasy football podcast. Super excited to have y'all. I just want to start today's episode out, man. Probably not on the highest note, but there's been just some tough stuff going on in the NFL, man. Marshawn Nealon, man, dealing with some tough stuff, obviously. This last Monday, we saw him score a touchdown in an NFL game. And then Thursday, he took his own life. So I just want to take a second, especially if you're taking the time to watch this, pour yourself into me. I just always want to say, you can reach out to me. You can get to me any way, if you know how. You can reach out to this channel. If you ever need anything, man, no one should have to go through this. Just like Dak said here, this is a pain you don't want nobody to go through, man. And I hate that this is emotional and this is like the first thing we have to talk about, but this is real life, man. This is what we're dealing with. And these guys are people too. We sit here and we talk about them every week. I mean, this is a fantasy football podcast, man. These guys are on my team or they're not. We talk about their performances, but at the end of the day, these guys have families. These guys are people. And they're dealing with stuff that they can't talk about because they're at the biggest stage. And people think they're at the top of the world, but sometimes you're not, even when it seems like you are. So I know that's a little low to start the day, but, just always want to keep that on the back of our minds. Just getting into the NFL, though, this week. Last night was a cool game. As a Chiefs fan, I don't like to see the Broncos or the Raiders doing too well. So this was a great one. There was a crazy weather game over in Mile High Stadium, but the Raiders did bring it to them. Raiders have been playing good football lately. Got a good defense coming on right now. If you're able to keep Bo Nix, who I saw score 33 points a couple weeks ago, in the fourth quarter, if you're able to keep him to 10 points with his offensive weapons, J.K. Dobbins kept him pretty low on yards. R.J. Harvey, who I was pretty heavy on, he also did not get a crazy game this week. So Raiders, got to give them some props. Ash and Jenny had a great game. They didn't really go through the passing like they should. I feel like the Geno Smith experience is really here in full effect. He is just not the player that I think the Raiders asked him to be. He's nothing better than Derek Carr was for them. So they really need to do something as a team. Maybe upgrade the offensive line because they have weapons there. They just need to support the cast. Trading Jacoby Myers was not the right move, though. That's all I can say. They needed that guy as an offensive weapon when he was there. Coming down here, Falcons going against the Colts. I have the Falcons right now plus 5.5, but I think I'm going to switch back over. They're playing at the Lad Haas. I think the Colts need their redemption game here, and the Falcons have played awful on the road. I also got to say, Falcons just aren't that consistent to get the spread, and the Colts have been pretty dang good. They just had one bad game last week, I got to say. A lot of turnovers. I feel like if they can fix their turnovers, this is a great game for them. Falcons are kind of struggling all across the board. Offensively, they looked really good with Drake London last week, passing the ball. But I think with Sauce Gardner over there at the Colts, man, these guys are kind of scary. I don't know if he'll be playing this week, but cornerback's not a hard position for you to just fill in at. If you know the coverage and you know who you're covering or what area you're covering, especially if you're a top-tier guy like Sauce Gardner, top 5 corner in the league, you'll be okay. So I could see him playing this week, maybe not every snap, but maybe in some packages. I like the Colts 5.5, actually. Going to switch that one over. Also 5.5 this week. Panthers at the Saints. Was heavy on the Saints at the beginning of the year. They were doing all right against the spread, but now they're 2-7 against the spread. Panthers, good football team. Good football team. Watch out for these guys, man. They're sneaking up in here, man. They're on the prowl for a little NFC wild card spot. I'm seeing that right now. Just look out for them. There's a lot of NFC teams that have great records, but I think these guys could be one of them. Bears, Giants. I'm worried that this is a 3.5 point game. And with 76% of people being on the Bears, I feel like Vegas is really going to steal some money on us here. But we'll see how this goes. Giants are 0-5 away on the spread, so I really just don't give them faith there. Without Scadaboo, seems like they just don't have the force they need at running back, and without Malik. Malik Neighbors. Without Malik Neighbors, this is also going to be a tough game too. They just don't have the weapons they need. Jackson Dart's there, obviously, but he is not a run-first quarterback, and he's going to have to do it all himself. So I'm going to give this to Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Bears. They've been playing some pretty good football. Let's not get that wrong. Don't call these the regular Bears until the playoffs. Then we can call them the Bears. Jags, Texans. CJ Stroud is out this week. I'm pretty sure. Let's just go check the injury report here. Joe Mixon. Oh, CJ Stroud out with the concussion. So, in my eyes, I really think that just puts us on the Jags. Texans struggle a lot offensively. And a couple weeks ago, when the Texans were playing the Seahawks, now keep in mind the Jaguars are not the Seahawks, but Jaguars are a decent football team. Jaguars beat the Chiefs. But when they played the Seahawks the other week, they played a good defense, and the Jaguars have a very good defense, and especially in the secondary. Backup quarterback, I don't even know who it is. I saw Grant Mertz was their third string. Hopefully he gets in. I've actually played against him in high school. My boy Cordell Owens, shout out C Cubed. He actually picked him off in a 7-on-7 at Blue Valley High School, Blue Valley West High School in like 2018 at a summer camp 7-on-7. We were there all day. It was probably like our fifth game. They ended up beating us, don't get me wrong, but my boy picked him off. We actually had a good fun day out there. That was always fun in high school. There's some great recruits up in Kansas City, man. But coming back here into the Texans games, I think who will be the starting quarterback? Let's check here. Texans starting QB. I didn't even see him come in the other day. Davis Mills. Oh, he filled in last year. So it looks like Davis Mills will be coming in. They're going to get crashed. I don't know why this is a 1.5 game. I'm going to put some money on the Jags this week. I feel like this is a game that you can really expose to make some money on. So heavy on this one right here. Dolphins going to the Fins, 9.5 points. I feel like with the Dolphins trading away what they did, firing their GM, I feel like there's going to be a lot of some contention in the building. What struggles me here is I saw how they played against each other a couple weeks ago. And I saw that the Dolphins in these divisional games, they keep them close, man. And you got to be careful. It's like the last night, the Raiders and the Broncos. Bills have been playing good football, but I just can't give them 9.5 points. That might be the Chiefs hater in me, or the Chiefs in me hating on the Bills. But I just don't think you can give a divisional matchup 9.5 points. We saw what happened last night. Ravens, Vikings. I have Vikings 4.5 here. They brought it to the Lions last week, and the Lions are a phenomenal football team. Ravens, great when Lamar's playing and he's healthy. But I'm going to really need to see, a Ravens offense is, I don't know if that's more lethal than the Lions offense. I mean, you have two really good running backs, a phenomenal wide receiver, and a very good tight end. And around the Ravens, you just say, hey, I have an amazing running back and an amazing tight end and a quarterback. I got to give it to, the Vikings for being able to take on the Lions. And if they can take on the Lions, I think they can take on the Ravens, especially at home. So heavy on the Vikings here as well. Potential to make some money if you adjust the money or the spread here. You can get, I think, plus 13.5 on the Vikings. I feel like this is going to be a close game regardless. Shootout or not, 13.5 points is a huge spread for two very good teams. So I'm going to take Vikings here. And as we can see later, they'll be in a couple of these spread picks. Coming down here, Browns, Jets. I like the Browns plus 2.5. I don't know why the Jets are favored. They just traded away their arguably two best defensive players, and the running back they keep wanting to trade away acts like he doesn't even want to be there. So Isaiah Davis likely to put up some points this week and some prop bets. He's the backup running back for the Jets. But for the Browns this week, be heavy on them, man. I don't know if Dylan Gabriel's starting at quarterback. I want to see Shedeur out there slinging the thing against the Jets. That'd be fun in New York. That'd get some good PR for my boy Shedeur. But Browns, you got to take them here at 2.5. I feel like that's kind of a gimme. They're 2-6, but they've been playing some dang good defensive football, and I feel like that's where they're going to really get to going on the Jets. And with the Jets trading away their players, man, you gotta open that up for the run game, and then once you open up the run game, they can toss it down the field because Sauce is gone. Patriots, Bucks. I'm giving it to the Bucks here, man. Minus 2.5 is hard, but I just feel like the Patriots aren't playing the best football when they're playing great teams, and the Bucks are playing every game close and then finishing it out. So I'm giving it to the Bucks here at 2.5, but I'm very frisky on this one. This is a toss-up, man. This one I'm really not sure of. Patriots are a dang good football team. Max Jones looks great. The running game is what I'm concerned about, though. And if they can't control the clock, I know that Baker Mayfield will just continue to score on them and score on them and score on them, and it'll be a very bad day. Emeka Ibuka's healthy, so look for him and Baker to have a great day. Baker needs a bounce back. We're in the Baker Mayfield playing bad cycle of the Baker Mayfield cycle currently. Seahawks, Cardinals. Now, listen here. I'm going to change this bet. The Cardinals have lost 5 football games. 5 football games. See it right here, 3-5. The Cardinals have lost a cumulative, these 5 football games, by 12 points. If you tally all these up right here, they've lost by 12 points. And they beat the Saints, bad football team, Panthers, who we've seen take on some good football teams. They're not taking on the Seahawks. And then we saw them take on the Cowboys last week, who are known for scoring a lot of points and being a lethal offense. Sounds like the Seahawks to me. I'm not saying the Cardinals are going to win, but in the divisional matchup, I'd take the Seahawks at 4.5, but I'm going to take the Cardinals at 6.5. They would have to win one game by half as many points as they've lost the last 5. So I'm taking the Cardinals here, just believing. Let's take it. Another great divisional matchup here. Look at this card right here. Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. Let's just go to the graphic early. I'm ready for it. Is this the best division in football? Can all these teams make the playoffs this year? Obviously, they're going to play each other, and their schedules are going to get a little roughed up. But I think these guys might go. I think these guys are great. Cardinals, 3-5. But, man, they could easily sneak in here if they take a couple wins in. Just look out, man. I'm saying heavy on these teams right here. They're all great football teams. We saw the Cardinals play last weekend. I would never have said they're a phenomenal one, but they brought it to the Cowboys. So Seahawks obviously lethal, but not going to give them 6.5. Rams, 49ers. This one's hard. Schedule-wise, you look at this and you're like, oh, they're both 6-3. But I think the Rams know how to go against the 49ers. Historically, let's check real quick. Let's take a little preview. Just because in the last couple years, I know they've gone back and forth. You know, the Rams have gone to a couple Super Bowls. Okay, yeah. So we're looking here. I like the Rams. Playing big time scoring football. 49ers are struggling a little bit offensively. They're kind of spamming the Christian McCaffrey button. And if the Rams can sit down with them, I really like that. Rams, let's go check how they've played against heavy running teams real quick. Just to... Texans, they played well. Eagles, they lost to. 49ers, they lost to. Ravens, they won, though, which is a heavy run. They were playing against them when it was the... Lamar was not playing, though. Colts, they beat them, which had the best rusher in the NFL right now. You know what? Yeah, let's take the Rams here. I like the Rams. 49ers, great team, but we'll give them 3.5 here. Lions, Commies. Got to take the Lions. Commanders are with Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is a backup quarterback. We'll just say that. Lions need a bounce back week. They were favored by 10.5 points last week and lost. So they need a good bounce back week. I'm going to take them here. That might not be the smart decision based off of their performance last week, but they are 5-3 against the spread, and Commies are 3-6. So let's take that. They're on the road, but they'll make it happen. It's not too far for them. Detroit to DC is not too far of a battle. Steelers, Chargers. Hey, man. Steelers look good right now, but Chargers arguably are a more complete football team. They've been playing better recently. The Steelers have a flash of defensive highlights last week, I feel like, and that may have just been a matchup. I feel like against the pass here, they're going to struggle a little bit, and they're playing at the Chargers on Sunday night. So let's give the Chargers here, and I feel like they want the AFC West to have a little contention as well. Eagles, Packers. Man, I hate to pick the Eagles here, but they should be favored. The Packers are not playing against good football teams. So I'm going to give it to the Eagles here. Eagles just brought a bunch of good guys over. Jalen Phillips, a new cornerback too. Marlon Humphreys. They'll be all right, man. Looking forward to maybe playing the Chiefs again in the Super Bowl. That'd be really fun that these guys just keep going back and forth. That'd be a fun back and forth there. I love that. Good rivalries. Good rivalries to have. Total points for Pittsburgh, 21. Los Angeles Chargers, 26. That's going to be a close one, but we'll cover. Philly, 31. Green Bay, 22. I feel like Philly will try to really put it on them, but Green Bay's still going to catch up. Save all these picks here. And let's move on to our teams. So right here, projected as a little underdog. RJ Harvey did me wrong, but so did Sutton and J.K. Dobbins for him. Just a disappointing game overall last night. I think the only players that produced were the Raiders defense, and I don't think anybody had the Raiders defense. So I'll take this. I could go for a good week this week. Here's our special teams coordinator. He's checking in with us. Welcome to the podcast, Axel. Check in here, though. I'm on Raw Dogged You. We got a little bit of a 50% chance to win here. I don't know who, like, a quarter of this guy's players are. I feel like he's just kind of picking up whoever's doing points off the bench. So I feel like this could be a good week right here. I like this one. This is in the I'm 7-2 in this league, so doing pretty good. I am number 2 standings in that league. Otherwise, coming down here, I'm 6-3, sitting 3rd in this league. Javon, I'm coming for you, brother. We are both sitting 6-3. Man, Will Lutz did me wrong last night, but I guess Ashton Denny had a good night last night too. But Bo Nix screwed him. 5 points. I really think Daniel Jones could come back and thrash based off his performance last week. He needs some redemption game here. Mr. Malusin, Gordy's brother, dude had Ashton as well. He did pretty good. I need some good points by my boy Jackson Smith. I need a Saquon game. And like we just said, we need a Daniel Jones game. Heavy on the Daniel Jones. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the craziness with this Micah Parsons trade. I feel like the Cowboys do not know what they're doing right now. With them giving back picks and their performance right now, they're basically trading a 28th pick for a 40th pick. These guys aren't doing what they think they're going to be doing. I'm kind of sad that they're doing this to their team. The Cowboys could potentially have been a good team, but it's not going to look like that for the next few years. Our bets this week. I like good bets. Broncos hit last night with the 2.5 plus. Barely. But I like to adjust it like that. We were at 400 odds. I had one that was at a plus 3.5 as a bonus bet, so didn't lose any money. But I did not win the bet. But this one, we're sitting at 2.5. I like this one. We're sitting at Bills. Bills plus 2.5. So Bills could even lose to the Dolphins. Kind of crazy there. But we got to be careful about these divisional matchups, people. They will come out and surprise you. We saw what happened to the Lions last week. Panthers at minus 1.5 with the Saints. I feel like this is a good lock, though. I feel like that's a good win for them. Lions minus 1.5. Bounce back week for those boys. All right, jingle bells. Oh, you're out of here. And then the Colts minus 1.5. Another bounce back week. Counting on some bounce backs, but all these teams are great teams. There was some crazy losses last week, and we need the NFL to be back in full stride so we can make money. 1-250 off the spreads last night, but here's my other parlay. It's going to be Vikings plus 13.5 with the Ravens. Got Browns plus 6.5. I got Patriots plus 11.5. Found that somewhere. I like that one big time. Lions minus 2. Okay, so bringing it up a little bit, but they should cover that. Washington Commies not performing well, like we said. Seahawks plus 1.5, so they could lose. We talked about the Cardinals playing very close games, so we want that line very, very low. Eagles plus 9. I like even a loss in Green Bay, which would be fine for me as a Chiefs fan, and covering the spread here. They could lose by 6. That'd be good for me. A little plus 330 odds, so 62 to pay 270. Looking at a good bet here. Last thing, much love, y'all. We talked about it at the beginning. If you ever need anything, reach out to your boy. Like, comment. Let me know how y'all are doing in your fantasy this year. Reach out to me if you need anything, like we've talked about. Much love. Peace.